Hi, it's Jenna. Uh, Living proof that you shouldn't try doing your hair while making a video. Anyway, today I wanted to do an author goals and dreams vlog, and I started writing it down, so hopefully I won't babble too much in this one. And I originally intended to do 10 goals and 2 dreams. Well, then I started writing it down and realized that I had 15 goals and 2 dreams. And there's a fine line between most of them. So, let me get myself a little more centered here. Hi. Okay, so goals. Number 1. I want to write a screenplay and put it on the Blacklist. Now, if you're not familiar with the Blacklist, it's a website where screenwriters, hopeful and otherwise, can post their screenplays for constructive criticism, feedback, that kind of thing. And it's also a website where a lot of very admired films have been discovered over the last few years. I have a lot of ideas for screenplays, 3 of which I think are the most viable. One I've actually been working on off and on since 2007, and this is the screenplay for a biopic about a man called Bill Alto, Aalto, who fought in the Spanish Civil War. He trained people for guerrilla fighting in World War II. He helped to found the OSS, which later became the CIA. He had a very fascinating life, knew people who were in the beat movement. Truman Capote wrote about him a little bit, and that kind of thing. And he's just a very fascinating man. The problem with that is screenplays are hard, and biography is harder, because these are actual people's lives. And I was talking to a friend about this once, and he said, well, don't think about it as their lives. They're your characters. And I was like, well, it helps a little bit. A little bit. We'll see. And then I have 2 other ideas that I really would like to do. One is adapting a novella that I wrote. It's probably been 8 years now. That I wrote about 8 years ago for something on Goodreads. The Readers Group Don't Read in the Closet challenge, where everyone chooses a picture from one of the forums, and people claim the picture and then write a story about it according to the claimant's specific desires, or whatever they put on it. So this particular one was a series of gifts about a guy stripping off in an elevator. Yeah, it was very silly. And the story, I think, has some good bones, but I think it also needs to be improved. But I also think that it would make a good screenplay. We'll see. I want to do that. And then I've got another one, my 3rd baby in this particular cradle, is for basically a meditation on love at first sight. Like, can love at first sight be real? And so I've got a number of different relationships in there, representing, different orientations and sexualities and whatnot. And that, at this moment, is still very much a vague plan of vagueness. So, we'll see. But that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is I want to write a web serial or TV series. I think it could be either. I had this idea. A lot of my sentences are going to start like that. I had this idea for a TV show ages and ages ago. It's got to be at least 10 years. For something on LiveJournal. I get a lot of ideas from challenges. About, you could do your title and maybe write the first scene or something like that. Cast your series. All that sort of thing. So I had a great time casting the series and writing it out and everything. And so I've been trying to take that germ of an idea and make it into something that other people would want to read. So, and even one year I tried to get the submission package finished for the TV development workshop at Sundance, which I didn't do. I would like to. And if I can't make that happen, then maybe I'll just write it as a web serial, because it is kind of a soap opera the way that I see it. Again, we'll see. I want to do it. It's just doing it is hard. I used to be very prolific, and I haven't been for quite a while, just due to stress and whatnot. And then I start a new job the day after Labor Day, and it's going to be intense. And I'm very worried right now about how I'm actually going to get any of this done, because I've also signed up for Millwordy, as I'll link a card. It'll probably be over there. About that, just apparently I'm that bonkers. I need the inspiration. Anyway, so that's goal number 2. Goal number 3 is to write a comic book. Now, I came late to comics. I didn't really know a whole lot about them growing up, but fortunately I have a lot of friends who are into comic books and who have recommended some very good stuff, and so I've had the fortune of reading Sandman and Hellblazer and a ton of Marvel stuff, the Marvel Civil War series in particular, the Winter Soldier series, the latest one, which is really, really moving, and just, kind of, there's a lot of history there, so I don't think I'm going to ever try and catch up on everything, but I do feel like I've read stuff that is like seminal, that is defining as far as what comic books can do. So I do have an idea for one. I actually, at some point, I have so many ideas, guys. I have an idea based around fandom stuff, especially like experiences in fandom that I've either had or been on the periphery of, or that my friends have kind of gone through. And so the fandom within that story, I want to write the story of that particular. I want it to be a comic book, first of all, and maybe part of the story is it's getting a film adaptation or something. But I want to write the actual story of that comic in a way, whatever way I can figure it out. I'm not really sure. I want to do a lot of peripheral stuff for this particular story. We'll see. Okay, so then goal number 4 is republishing all of my previously published works that were published with the small publisher who is now shut down. And that's been a long and slow process, just because editing puts me to sleep. Oh, gosh. So I just haven't been in a particular hurry to get that done. I'd rather write new stuff than keep going over old stuff. But I also want these out there, so I gotta sit down and do it. I've got to do that. Oh, sorry. Oh, this one. All right. So, goal number 5. Start using this great pseudonym that I thought up a few years ago and just haven't had the chance to use yet. And I don't know, maybe I'll announce it when I actually do get something published under it, and y'all can go see. But that's something I'd really like to do. Number 6. I'm going to keep with the ASL theme. Number 6 is submitting Fidel, my baby, to a site where it can be up for consideration for a film or TV adaptation. And I'll put a link in the doobly-doo. It's called indiepitch.tv. It does cost to submit, to have it on the site, but so does the blacklist, so whatever, it's fine. And just see if anyone bites. I personally think that Fidel would make a pretty good miniseries, or like limited series kind of thing. We'll see. But getting it on there is the main thing. Writing a summary of it, oh my gosh. There's so much that happens in this story. It's just like, how do I fit? Anyway, okay. So then number 7, there we go, is, I don't speak a whole lot of ASL, just a little bit, but I like it. So number 7 is have a successful self-published book, which may Fidel hasn't paid for itself. I even put it on sale for 99 cents for this month to celebrate the anniversary of its first anniversary of its publishing. I can speak very well sometimes, but apparently not today. But yeah, it hasn't encouraged a whole lot of sales, so I don't know. I need to figure out this whole marketing thing. So at some point, I would like to self-publish a book that, actually sells some copies. Crying out loud. Which I guess leads to number 8. There we go. 8. Which is, where is it? I wrote these down. Did I mention that? Publish with a traditional publisher / small publisher again. I'm not too sure about small publishers right now, just because so many of them have shut down recently for the same reason that my original publisher did, is that they just aren't making money. And, the old adage, if you want to make a small fortune in publishing, you need to start with a large one. So yeah, going with a small publisher would probably get my stuff actually published, but it is a risk. And I'm not sure that I am ready to take that risk again. Which leads to subset of number 8, get an agent. I've never had an agent. My first book was accepted at the first publisher I submitted it to. Whatever that entails. So, I know that if you're like submitting to the Big 6, or is it the Big 5 now? I don't remember. If you're submitting to New York publishers, it does help a lot to have an agent, because they have relationships with editors and can get your works in front of the right people. But on the other hand, I don't know if I really need one that much. But on the other hand, it would be good to have somebody on your side to help with like contract negotiation and what all, because I majored in the humanities. I knew nothing about I know nothing about contract law. I can talk about the romantics as much as you want, but I can't tell you what's in a contract. Boilerplate. Anyway, so let's see, 7, 8, 9. This is 9. So goal number 9 is to pay the majority of my bills / all of my bills from writing. Probably every writer has this dream to some degree or another, to just, do what you love. They say the money will come, but it always seems like that only happens to people who have a lot of money to begin with, which is not me. So I really do want to make a living as a writer. I really, really do. But it's hard. I need to make a living. I don't have people to support me. Anyway. So yeah, I have to take care of myself, and that means working a 9-to-5 job. But at least this one, for the first, 6 months or so, it's going to be working from home, and that'll help me figure things out, I think. Someday. Keep telling myself that. Maybe when I retire, if I can ever retire. Let's not get into politics. Alright, so then, item number 10. Crush the big list of next. Okay. I have 2 idea files in my notes app, which is Bear. It's a really nice notes app. The first one is the big list of next, which are ideas that are already kind of fleshed out. Like, I've face cast the characters, I figured out their names and what they do for a living and where they live. Maybe I've got more on the plot than just the initial premise kind of thing. And then the ideas file. See, that was the big list of next. The ideas file is just like, usually a sentence or 2. Just like, alien ghosts is one of mine. Where pandas is another one, which I think would be a comedy, because pandas are pretty darn funny. Just that kind of thing. So it's not the ideas file so much, which also has like 50 ideas in it right now. I think I've never really counted them. yeah, so it's not the ideas file so much as it is the big list of next. Just getting that. I mean, my thing about the big list of next is it never gets smaller. It never does. And it sure would be nice to have it get smaller. And then I can move some stuff out of the ideas file and into, you know, the done file or something. This is where my ASL fails me. I only took one semester in college and I don't remember the rest of the numbers. But number 11, don't get too distracted by fan fiction. I like writing fan fiction. I like fan role-playing kind of things. I've even LARPed a few times. I mean, I am an enormous dork and I know it. And, you know, I do like writing fan fiction as just like a way to stretch my legs, as it were, to do something silly and fun that, you know, isn't going to be as involved as some of the other stuff that I work on. But when I'm writing fan fiction, I'm not writing stuff for publication. So I have to be disciplined about that, which is kind of hard this week and probably will be for a bit because I binge watched all of Lucifer TV series and really liked it, even though I have some quibbles. And it also made me miss the character of John Constantine because I really enjoyed Hellblazer, the comic series. I really enjoyed Constantine, the TV series. The movie, whatever. And I need to catch up on Legends of Tomorrow now because I realized I miss Constantine. So, yeah, I've been writing fanfic about them in the last few days. That's the kind of thing that sort of happens. It's like a corollary of, you know, writing is 1% inspiration and 99% not getting distracted by the internet. Fanfiction is my 99%. Number 12 is start doing West Coast friendly write-ins on YouTube or Twitch. Most write-ins that I'm aware of are put on by people who are on the East Coast or in Europe, which is not a complaint. You know, it's in an odd time slot for me. But that's why I want to do West Coast friendly ones. I actually live in the Mountain Time Zone, which is negative GMT, -8, I believe, right now, or -7, one of those. So something that is, you know, scheduled by someone on the East Coast for 9 a.m., that's 7 a.m. for me. I've got one of someone that I'm following that starts at 4 a.m. for me, 6 a.m. for her, which, you know, is fine. You want to do it at an hour that's good for you. The host wants to do it at an hour that's good for you, but I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. So I want to do some that start a little bit later, so that people in my time zone, and especially when I'm going to be working 9 to 5 again, can participate, because I'm not going to be able to come to midday write-ins for a while anytime soon on the weekdays. So yeah, I want to start doing that. And if I build a little following list, that leads to number 13, build a YouTube community. And I am kind of happy that that has begun, and I'm starting to connect with people, and that people are glad to see me when I show up, and that feels really nice. So I feel like that's something that is actually a possibility. Number 14, I guess, and number 15 are kind of the same. Maybe it's more of a dream, but I would love a fandom for my works. Especially fan art of my characters, because I can't draw. Or as I like to put it most of the time, I can't draw for shit. And I really admire people who can. And there has been a time or two when someone has, you know, like, drawn a really lovely illustration for like a fan fiction that I wrote for like a Big Bang challenge or something, and that's been really, really cool, but those aren't necessarily my characters. So I would love someone to draw fan art of my original characters. So those are my goals. And my dreams. So getting on over to the dreams. Switch lanes. This first one is redonk, but it's a dream that I have. is to win an Academy Award for Best Screenplay or Best Adapted Screenplay. Preferably, if it's adapted, it's from one of my books. So, that's one of the reasons why I've been messing around with screenplays and stuff. It's just, it would be cool to write something that is like, makes history in some way or another. And then my second dream, which I think a lot of us share, is someday I want to write somebody's favorite book. All right, so that is my author dreams and goals. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again soon.